All right, welcome to Module 1, the instruction set. This is it, the very first step on our structured path to AI, and today we're going to tackle a really big question, maybe the most fundamental one. What exactly is Python? So let's just jump right in.
Now here at Structured AI Notes, our whole mission, our entire goal is to give you a super clear, step-by-step path to mastering AI. And believe me when I say, that journey, well, it officially kicks off right now.
So let's start with a thought experiment. I want you to just forget everything you think you know about coding, all the complicated stuff, the scary syntax. Just for a second, what if? What if it was as simple as just writing down a recipe? You know, like for your favorite dish. Just a list of simple, clear instructions. Just hold on to that thought for me. Okay, Section 1, your first instruction. And the subtitle here is key, thinking like a programmer. See, the goal here isn't to turn you into some stereotypical coder overnight, not at all. It's about shifting your mindset, about learning to think like a programmer. And you know what that really boils down to? It's just learning how to give really good, really precise instructions.
And that's really the heart of it all. Your entire job is to give a computer a list of super precise, step-by-step instructions that it can follow perfectly. Think of it like this. You're communicating with the world's most powerful assistant. The only catch, this assistant has absolutely zero imagination. It's incredibly literal. It will do exactly what you tell it to do, which means your instructions, they have to be flawless.
So to make this idea of perfect instructions really stick, we're going to use an analogy. And honestly, this little story is going to demystify this whole programming thing for good. Let's talk about the chef and the recipe. So here it is, the big idea. The recipe analogy. All it says is this. Programming is just like writing a recipe for a chef. But this isn't just any chef. This chef is incredibly obedient, but also extremely literal-minded. They'll do exactly what you write. No more, no less. Seriously, getting this mental model right now is the absolute key to understanding everything else we're going to talk about. Okay, so let's break down who's who in this kitchen. First up, there's the head chef. That's you, the programmer. You're the one with the vision, designing the whole dish. Then you have the recipe itself. That's your code, right? The actual list of instructions. And finally, you have the line cook. This is the computer. Its only job is to take your recipe and execute every single step, literally, with zero improvisation. No questions asked.
And this is why I love this analogy, because it totally reframes how you should think about mistakes. You're going to see things called syntax errors, and they sound scary, but they're not. A syntax error isn't a sign that you failed or that you're not smart enough. No way. It just means you gave an imprecise instruction. It's like the head chef writing, crack 2 eggs on the recipe, but forgetting to write, into the mixing bowl. What does our super literal line cook do? Well, it might just crack them right onto the counter. The problem isn't the chef's intelligence, it's just a tiny imprecision in the recipe. All right, I think we've got that analogy down. So now, let's connect this kitchen story to the real world. It's time to step out of the analogy and into reality and meet the piece of technology that actually makes all of this happen. Let's talk about the Python interpreter.
Okay, so let's just map this out, one-to-one. In our analogy, we had the head chef. In reality, that's you, the programmer. Easy enough. The recipe we talked about, well, that's what we call a Python script. It's the file with all your instructions. And our super literal line cook, the one doing all the work, that is the Python interpreter. It's the actual program that reads your script and brings it to life. And this brings us to a more formal textbook definition of Python. You'll hear people say it's a high-level interpreted language. Now, don't let those words scare you. High-level just means it's written in a way that's pretty close to human language. You and I can read it and kind of get what's going on. And interpreted, well, that just means it has our line cook, the interpreter, working behind the scenes. Its job is to translate our nice, readable recipe into the ones and zeros, the machine code that the computer's hardware actually understands.
And here we go. This is it, your very first instruction in Python. It's a classic for a reason. When you write the word print and then put some text in quotes inside parentheses, you're giving one of the simplest commands there is. You're basically just telling the interpreter, hey, take this message and display it on the screen for me. In our kitchen analogy, this is like telling the chef to shout out to the dining room, the soup is ready.
Okay, now for a super important rule about Python, something that trips up a lot of beginners. See that empty space at the beginning of some lines of code? That's called indentation. And in Python, unlike a lot of other languages, it's not just for looks. It's not optional. It has meaning.
It's how you group steps together in your recipe, like putting all the steps for making the sauce under one heading. Getting this right isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely mandatory. Okay, so we get it. Python is about writing simple recipes. But how in the world do we get from hello world to building actual artificial intelligence? It seems like a huge leap, right? Well, let's build that bridge right now and talk about why Python is the language of AI.
First things first, we have to get one thing straight. AI is not magic. It really isn't. It's just a sequence of instructions. Okay, granted, it's a very long and very sophisticated sequence of instructions, but it's still just a recipe. Even the most mind-blowing AI you can think of is, deep down, just following an incredibly complex recipe, one tiny step at a time.
Let's look at some super simple logic you might find in a chatbot. It's just a 3-step recipe. Step 1, you get an input. The user types hello. Step 2, you apply some logic. If the input is hello, then do something. Step 3, you produce an output. You print hi there to the screen. And that's it. This basic pattern, input, logic, output, is the fundamental building block for literally all AI, from this tiny script to the most advanced neural networks.
So, you've made it through the first big idea. You now understand the most important concept. Programming is just about giving instructions. So, what's next? Where do we go from here? Let's take a quick peek at the roadmap for our journey.
All right, here's what's coming up. If our code is a recipe, well, every recipe needs ingredients, right? You need a place to hold your flour, your sugar, your data. That's what we're covering next up in a module called The Container Theory, all about data types and variables. After that, we'll learn how to organize those ingredients into ordered shopping lists using things called lists and tuples. And then we'll get even fancier. The key thing to see here is that every single step is going to build on the one before it. It's a structure. So, I'm going to leave you with this question. You now have the single most important tool you need, the right mental model. You get it now. You're the head chef. Your code is just the recipe. And the computer is your loyal line cook. That means the only real limit is what you can dream up. So, what's the first recipe you're going to write?
Your structured path to mastering AI has officially started, right here, right now. If this helped click things into place for you, do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you follow the complete playlist. We've got a lot more to build, so let's do it together.